Right, this is Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out. Linus Udofia joins me here, just in the Adebayo Akinfenwa film premiere. How was that, first of all, and how are you?
Yeah, no, a really good premiere, really good insight on his life and his trials and tribulations. It was excellent. I'm pretty sure he said he hasn't seen it, but I think when he does, he's going to be really happy about that. And I'm really good as well. So it's a good day, Wednesday night. It's popping off here. You know, a lot of stars here. You know what I mean? I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be part of it. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Obviously, for yourself, part of the Wasserman boxing stable, but this was put on and brought to you by the Wasserman, the whole agency. So for your career, it's good to be part of Wasserman. Just to start off the interview, how is that? Part of Wasserman, obviously boxing.
Yeah, Wasserman have been absolutely phenomenal. They've been everything a team should be. They've been everything someone back in your career should be. They've looked after me in so many ways, and it's been an excellent relationship with Wasserman. Everyone inside out, it's been absolutely fantastic. They've looked after me like one of their own, and you know they've really shown my value to them, especially. Not just with fighting, not just with the purse bid and things like that. It's all the stuff outside. They invite me to everything. They make sure I'm looked after. They literally treat me like a celebrity with them. So it's been and I've built relationships with the guys in the back room. It's been a fantastic relationship so far, and you know, long may that continue.
It's been 5 months since your fight against Denzel at the O2, back in May now. What do you expect to happen from this point onwards? Obviously, it was a close fight. Do you have a kind of roadmap of how you get either back to the British or even higher? What do you want to do next?
You know, to answer the first bit, it's really up to my management, my trainer, and you know, my promotional team to all work together, sit down and talk. And you know, their job is to pave the way for me. You know, I just walk it. You know, they pave, they do it, they do what they need to do. They put the fights together, they make it happen in certain place, and I just go down there and have my fight. What I want is, you know, I want to be back the way I have been. I want to get the right fights at the right time. I'm more than happy to jump into another British domestic with any of the top boys out there, as long as it's the right fight, as long as everything's right with that. I'm more than happy. I feel like I'm there. I've announced myself, and that I want to be in competitive big fights. I want the big titles, and those come with big names. So I want the British, I want the Commonwealth, I want the European onwards, and none of those are easy belts to win against nobody's. You know, these are big names and these are big fights, and these are the fights I want, not just for myself but for the public and my legacy as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing your next steps. I want to ask you about the British title fight. English. Brad Rhea, Tyler Denny, November, Sky Sports. How do you see that fight going between Brad and Tyler?
It's a very good fight on paper. However, it's one of those interesting ones where Tyler's very experienced, still young. You know, just I reckon 31 maybe. Still young. Brad Rhea is extremely young. He's got the advantages. If you can, you know, if he can use them, he's got the size, he's got the reach on Tyler. However, Tyler's being someone that's shared a ring with him, he's a very awkward customer, and he hits a lot harder than people think. His record doesn't suggest it. I don't think he's still stopped anyone. However, he hits incredibly hard, and he's a hard night's work for anybody. Ask what's his name, Wilson Benn, and. It's an interesting fight. I want to be ringside for it. It's a very good fight to see, and the fights like that are really refreshing to see happening at this level. And it's an interesting fight to see. So I can't tell you how I see it going, but it's one of those where Tyler's experienced, awkward, and slept on almost. Where Brad Rhea is the one that's pushed. He's the hard hitter. He's the taller. On paper, he has the advantages. He hasn't got the same experience. However, on paper, he has the advantages. I couldn't tell you how it'd go.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been in the ring with Tyler, of course. You've kind of alluded to it there. He's a little bit underrated in that sense.
Oh, 100%. You know, he's always been looked over. He was looked over in my fight. He gave me one of the closest fights I've ever had in my life. He was looked over in all his other fights. He was looked over with a Wilson Benn fight twice. Even after he, arguably, in my opinion, beat him the first time. He got looked over the second time, and now he's going to be looked over again. He's been proving the odds. He's been proving everyone wrong ever since. And you know, it's nice to see him. It was nice to see him get that belt as well, because I think that was the 4th time he fought for it.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. But as for your career and going for the British, do you have any names that you feel like would suit you, or you feel like you could be fighting for that belt soon as Denzel's going up now?
Yeah, well, it would have been Denzel. I wanted to have that fight back. However, it's one of those. It is what it is. It doesn't matter. It's the accolade. I want to write my name down in the history books as of winning the British title. If not, winning it outright. It's one of those. That's my personal goal. I don't really care who has it. I don't really care who I have to fight for it. I want to compete for it.
I have to talk to you about the Conor Benn situation. In the last couple of hours, I'm sorry, it's my job. He's dropped his license with the BBBFC. You were one of his main sparring partners for the Chris Eubank Jr. fight. What was your first reaction, being as that you've been in the ring with him without obviously it being a professional bout? You were one of his top sparring partners for that. What was your first reaction when you heard the news, first of all, before today?
It was shock. It was shocking. It was. I couldn't believe it. I was kind of lost for words, and then all of a sudden my phone started picking off, and everyone was trying to oh, what's going on here? What's going on here? What you boys been doing? I was shocked. I was shocked, just like a lot of people in the boxing world, and it was. I didn't really know how to react. I didn't really know what to say, and none of it was my place. And yeah, it was just shock, genuine shock.
Did you reach out to him? I'm sure you've got his number. You sparred him multiple times. What did you reach out to him?
Yeah. I think a few hours in, maybe, or the next day, I kind of gave him a voice note, because we'd been speaking previous about the Make the Days Count. We'd stopped sparring because I think it was his last week or something, and we had spoken about the Make the Days Count documentary. I was making a joke. I was like, "Oh, you've made me. They made me look bad in this. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here?" And we laughed about it, and then obviously a few days later that happened. I sent him a voice note, and I was just like, "Look, I don't really know what to say to you. I just want to make sure you're all right. I'm not here to ask any questions. I just want to make sure you're all right. You know what I mean? Obviously, you and your team and your kids and your missus and that. I hope everyone's all right. Just like I had no idea what to say to him. I just wanted. At that moment, I would have imagined he would have been getting a lot of abusive, a lot of unnecessary messages, and I just thought, it might, what I mean, because we built a relationship in Isle of Wight. We built a relationship, just sparring all the time. We chat about all sorts, and it would have just been. I just thought, just let him know that someone's actually not trying to just be like, oh, what's going on, or trying to get at him. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I sent a message.
Okay. Appreciate your time, Linus. It's been good to speak to you today. I'm sure we'll catch up soon. Do you have an estimation on when you're going to fight? Obviously, a lot of fighters don't always know, but is it going to be next year now that you're looking at?
How long's a piece of string? No idea.
So you're not sure?
No idea. It could be this year, could be end of this year, could be next month, could be next year.
Thanks for your time, bro.